Hi friends, I hope everybody did your mains examination well. In this video we are going to discuss the answer key for GS paper 1. I am not going to discuss the entire paper, we are going to selectively discuss some important questions that are mainly of an analytical nature. I think that would be more helpful to you. We will just discuss the various hints and important points for the answers. Fine. Now let's start. We'll take question number 2. 1857 uprising was the culmination of the recurrent big and small rebellions that had occurred in the preceding 100 years of British rule. In the introduction, you should directly attack the question. You should state that the 1857 revolt was not a spontaneous event, it was a result of various grievances that built up in the last 100 years. The grievances were from many quarters. They were from peasants, farmers, tribals, soldiers, from the people who are affected by the cultural invasion of the British, mainly through westernization and Christian missionaries. So mention directly that in the introduction and then go into the body of the answer. Mainly write about the various rebellions that happened in the 100 years. In fact, nearly 40 rebellions, mainly from farmers, peasants and tribals, they happened from 1763 to 1856. So you can write about the important rebellions, mention about the Santal rebellion, Sannyasi rebellion, Munda rebellion, Polygar rebellion, mention about all these rebellions. Similarly, mention the rebellion from the Zamindars and other elite sections of Indian society. These elite sections, they were affected by the policy of British, right? Like doctrine of lapse, mention about them. They were dispossessed of their power and their lands. So even these elite sections and Zamindars, they oppose the British rule, mention about that. Then write about the cultural nationalism. British, they tried to impose westernization on India. They used the Christian missionaries in India to spread westernization. So Indians, they opposed it, mention about that. Then go to the soldiers, the grievances from the soldiers side. They were discriminated, they were not given proper facilities. High posts were given only to the British. So mention about all this and then you can finish your answer. Third question. Examine the linkages between 19th century Indian Renaissance and emergence of national identity. So Indian Renaissance basically refers to the socio-religious reform movements in India that were spearheaded by leaders like Raja Ram Mohan Roy and other leaders. So these naturally led to emergence of national identity. Remember that during British rule, India was lacking a national identity. People were divided among many lines such as caste and religion. So they were the national consciousness which is needed to fight British itself was lacking, and they were heavily affected by things such as superstition. So first the national leaders, the social reformers, felt that the Indian society must be freed of superstition and a culture based on science and rational thinking should be developed. So based upon this, in the body of the answer, build your answer. Mention about the important social religious reformers and their institution. Mention about Brahmo Samaj. Mention about Raja Ram Mohan Roy. How they countered the British and how they led to the awakening of national identity in India. Mention about that. At the end, you can even say that Indian Renaissance in the form of socio-religious reform movement, it cannot be compared to the Renaissance which happened in Europe. So you can mention about that also. Next, question number 6. Can the strategy of regional resource-based manufacturing help in promoting employment in India? This is a very important issue. For this, mainly focus on the underdeveloped backward regions of India. Mention about regions like Rajasthan and Chota Nagpur Plateau. So in the eastern part of India, it is mainly underdeveloped. It is affected by Naxalism. In this region, there are many natural resources. It is rich in mineral ores like steel, copper and other resources. This region is rich in water resources also. Mention about that. There is good scope for development of heavy industries in this region. Then mention about Rajasthan. There are opportunities for food processing and other stuff. Mention about dairy processing. So you can write about all this. Question number 9. Empowering women is the key to control population growth. Discuss. In this question, mainly write from a inequality perspective and human rights perspective. Mainly population control and family planning in India is mainly centered around women. Due to patriarchy, the burden of family planning and population control is thrust upon women. So you have to mention about that. Reproductive health care and population control should be based from a grassroots level based on development. So write about that. This should be brought only by development of women. We should empower women through proper health care and education. So as naturally as women are empowered through education, population control will naturally happen in India. They will get married at a higher age. Similarly, the fertility rate will also come down. Women can contribute to the overall development of India. So mention about all these things. What are the challenges to our cultural practices in the name of secularism? Question number 10. So secularism is actually a positive concept. It has to be embraced in India. Our constitution speaks about secularism. Our directive principles of state policy speaks about secularism, article 44. Now you have to write about challenges to our cultural practices. Remember that India is still a semi-feudal society. We cannot classify India as a modern society. India is a mix of feudalism and modernism. We are still evolving in the path of modernism. So there is still a conflict between secularism and traditional practices in India. You can refer to the recent events like the abolition of triple talaq in India. So you can write about that. So cultural practices, they are being threatened by secularism, but ultimately it is up to the people to accept secularism or not. Remember, secularism does not only refers to religion, it also refers to overall equality. In fact, equality between men and women also comes under secularism. So you should write about that. And question number 13. Explain how foundation of modern world were laid by American and French Revolution. So American and French Revolution, this is a question from world history. Mainly write about the values of American Revolution and French Revolution. Mainly the humanistic values of democracy, equality, fraternity, freedom of speech, expression, etc. They were assured by the French Revolution and American Revolution. In fact, French Revolution, it laid the foundation for democracy throughout Europe. Mention about that. Similarly, American Revolution, it paved the way for democracy and republicanism. It upheld the value of the individual, the dignity of the individual and the liberty of the individual. And modern day civic rights, civil rights and fundamental rights are actually derived from the American Revolution. You can mention about the values that were derived by India also from American Revolution and French Revolution. The write about the transformation from feudal society to modern society. Question number 15. How can mountain ecosystem be restored from negative impact of development and tourism? This question you have to focus on ecotourism. Generally, tourism and development, in the name of tourism and development, we are destroying the mountain ecosystem. The environment is getting spoiled. Things such as plastics, they are affecting the ecosystem and the environment. Mention about that. So how to solve this? Mention about responsible tourism, which is ecotourism. Write about the beneficial aspects of ecotourism. Through ecotourism, we can protect environment. We can also assure development in the mountain ecosystem. Question number 20. Are we losing our local identity for the global identity? So this once again is a question based on globalization. So global identity, with the global identity we are moving in the region, in the realm of a cosmopolitan citizenship. So citizenship is actually transgressing the national boundaries, and it is every citizen is almost, they are becoming a cosmopolitan citizen. But once again it is leading to conflict at the local level. At the local level, the citizens, they are identifying them with their own regions. There is identification on the basis of region, caste and religion. There is identification on the basis of culture, ethnicity. The sons of soil policy, it is observed at the local level in India. Mention about all these. Similarly, whether our cultural identity is getting affected due to global identity. You can mention India. The aspect of India, important aspect is our unity in diversity, our multicultural identity, whether it is getting diluted due to global identity. Mention about all this stuff. I think this would be helpful for you. We can discuss the rest in another video. Thank you.